Caitlin Clark's undeniable rise has made ripples not only across college basketball, but, perhaps more unexpectedly, across the WNBA. She's a new wave, a phenomenon built of grit, audacity, and an unquenchable thirst for the game. Caitlin's entrance onto the basketball stage was a quiet ripple that soon turned into a roaring wave. And this power has caught the attention of the biggest names in the WNBA. It's hard for any seasoned professional to watch her play and not feel something stir. Her long-range shots, like little acts of rebellion from beyond the arc, her effortless handles, and that daring on-court presence have left some of the WNBA's most accomplished athletes feeling something they didn't expect: jealousy. But before we proceed further, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. This isn't the kind of envy rooted in malice. It's something altogether different, more like a grudging respect that grows and simmers as they watch her move. WNBA players are legends in their own right, having conquered the challenges and rigors of professional play. Yet here's Clark, cutting through defenses like they're scarcely there, throwing up shots that seem to laugh at the limits of probability, and somehow making them. That nagging green-eyed feeling isn't just admiration. It's a gnawing reminder of what it's like to feel on the edge of greatness, to remember the fire before it was tempered by time and training. Watching Clark is like getting a glimpse back in time, a reminder of the days when they, too, were college athletes, raw and untamed, with the world at their feet. A lot of this buzz about Clark started when the inevitable comparisons to Stephen Curry surfaced. Clark's half-court bombs and in-your-face charisma became her signature, and that kind of confidence got under some skin in the best way possible. WNBA players have never had the luxury of flying under the radar. Every step, every win, every loss is scrutinized. Clark, though, is playing college ball with a swagger that seems almost reckless. She taunts, she gestures, she plays as if no one told her there were rules, both written and unwritten. In a sport where women are often scrutinized for their every move and emotion, Clark is unapologetically loud, not just in voice, but in the way she plays. And that's a vibe that some WNBA players, in all their polished professionalism, can't help but feel a twinge of envy toward. But it isn't all just about style. It's also about the simplicity of Clark's spotlight. College basketball has, in a way, become her personal stage, and while WNBA players battle for the kind of mainstream attention they rightly deserve, Clark, at the collegiate level, has captured eyes without breaking a sweat. Her dominance has given her a spotlight that many WNBA stars have spent years working for, and this reality, while not bitter, certainly creates a pause. WNBA players can't help but think back to their college days, remembering how, despite their accomplishments, they didn't see the same kind of reverence. It's like watching someone walk into a party and instantly become the center of attention, something they've been grinding for since their own rookie years. Clark's game shines with an edge that cuts deep into the fundamental respect these pros have for the game. There's nothing more exhilarating than seeing a player who challenges conventions, one who seems almost disrespectful to the tried-and-true strategies and still comes out on top. Some WNBA players have joked among themselves, half serious, half in jest, about how Clark makes them feel like they've aged in dog years. Her relentless approach is a reminder of that youthful vigor, that fire, and that lack of hesitation that they too once held tightly. But now, with a career's worth of knowledge and experience, they sometimes find themselves on the sideline, whispering under their breath, "I wish I'd played like that." If there's any real jealousy, it's in the little things, the buzz, the media coverage, the viral clips that flood social media every time Clark pulls off another basketball magic trick. The WNBA is filled with seasoned athletes who are spectacular in their own right, but for some reason, they haven't become household names in the same way. Clark, with her college games, has a platform that rivals even the biggest events in women's professional basketball. It's almost as if she's taken something from their spotlight, or at least claimed a spotlight they have long chased, but only briefly held. Yet, it's not the jealousy that's bitter. No, it's almost humorous, the kind that gets a laugh in the locker room or a shake of the head. It's a reminder of how fame is fickle, and how the world gravitates toward the newest, the shiniest, and the most exciting. Then there's the way Clark plays the game itself, a wild card of basketball instincts and flashy moves that would drive any traditionalist coach up the wall. The WNBA is no stranger to legends who have set records and made history, but Clark's game is almost casual in its brilliance, and that's hard to look away from. Some players see her basketball style as an unfiltered, uncensored version of the sport they've refined over years. The raw, almost punk rock nature of Clark's game is like an energy drink compared to the fine wine that is the WNBA. One player commented privately that Clark is like a walking mixtape, making a spectacle out of every possession, and the reality of that hit harder than they'd like to admit. She's the kind of player they might have dreamed of being, one who doesn't wait for the right moment but creates it, leaving defenders, fans, and even seasoned pros in awe. Clark's rise has forced some WNBA players to look at their own game, as if holding up a mirror to their past selves, the younger versions that used to shoot without hesitation, who would take any dare, who loved the game with a burning intensity. Her approach is carefree but deliberate, almost like she's dancing through the court, unburdened by the weight of expectations. WNBA players, however, know all too well the reality of carrying a team, a franchise, and sometimes even a league on their shoulders. There's a simplicity in college basketball, an untainted freedom that Clark is living, and for a league that has to constantly fight for its place, seeing that level of freedom feels like watching someone walk a path they once knew but had to leave behind. In locker rooms, this conversation about Clark's impact has taken on a life of its own, transforming into a kind of legend. Some male NBA players, with a glint of humor, joke that they'd like to pull a Caitlyn move in their next game, throw a shot up from your half-court, or maybe taunt a little louder. It's a playful envy that speaks to the heart of competition, a friendly dare to take a page from Clark's book. They laugh about it, maybe even throw in a little wager, but behind the jokes lies a subtle acknowledgement that Clark represents something they all recognize, a throwback to when basketball was a fearless dance, not a measured strategy. The fact that Clark has drawn this kind of attention from such accomplished professionals says something powerful about her impact on the sport. No NBA players have seen rookies come and go, but there's something about Clark's rise that feels different. It's almost as if she's a disruptor in the truest sense, breaking the monotony, reminding everyone, from the rookies to the veterans, of the primal joy of the game. The envy some feel isn't just about the attention she's getting, but about what she represents, the unrestrained joy of playing a game as if it's all that matters. Clark's influence is a spark that makes even seasoned players feel as if they're seeing basketball again with fresh eyes. Some of this envy, then, is rooted in nostalgia, the kind that comes with knowing that the game they once knew has evolved and that they, too, have changed. Watching Clark play feels like watching an old friend, someone who hasn't yet experienced the realities of professional sports. It's like looking at a free spirit that hasn't been molded by the system, someone who hasn't had to fit into a league's marketing strategy or deal with the endless interviews. In Clark's college games, there's a purity that hasn't yet met the structured world of professional athletics. And while many WNBA players are happy to leave behind their own college days, they can't help but admire the unfiltered way Clark is living it. For WNBA players, there's a real respect for the grind, the polished professionalism, and the strategy that comes with playing at the top level. But Clark's style, a mix of controlled chaos and unstoppable confidence, reminds them of a different time. Her presence on the court is like a siren call to the past, pulling on the threads of what basketball felt like when it was just fun. It's as if Clark embodies all the possibilities that first got them into the game, that initial rush of adrenaline when they first sank a shot or made a clutch play. Watching her play is a nostalgic hit, a flashback that tugs at the heartstrings, mingling pride with a touch of wistfulness. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. We thrive on your feedback, so be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Until next time, keep discovering and stay tuned.